Okay, well, we will study now about the size of transition elements or the variation of size or radii of transition elements. Now we are having three different series. The first transition series where the 3D orbital starts filling, the second transition series where the 4D orbital starts filling, and ultimately it is the 5D series or the third transition series. Now, according to the general trend of a periodic table, we know that the atomic radii or the size decreases from left to right in a period, but it increases from top to bottom in a group. Now, if we go for the radius definition, that means what we mean by an atomic radius, then simply we can say that it is the distance of the outermost electron from the center. So, it is the distance of the outermost electron from the center. Now, for transition elements, if we go for the outermost electron concept, let us take the first transition series. Then we know that the outermost electronic configuration of the transition series is similar to that of the alkali and alkaline earth metal. So if we consider the 3D series, then at the very beginning in the period, we have potassium with atomic number 19. Then we have calcium with atomic number 20, and then we have the first transition series element, that is scandium with atomic number 21. And then from atomic number 21 in scandium, we can go up to 30 zinc, where all the elements will be obtained having the outermost electronic configuration either 4s1 or 4s2. Now 4s1 and 4s2, which is for the alkali as well as alkaline earth metal, determines that the radius will be same for all the elements, but this is not actually the case. For alkali or alkaline or for S block element, if we say that for alkali elements, they will have a electronic configuration, of a noble gas, okay, and then this will be NS1. For alkaline earth metal, again we will be having a noble gas configuration, and then that will be NS2. But for the transition elements, we will have a noble gas configuration, of course, but we will be having N-1, D1 to 10 penultimate cell, and NS1 to 2 S electrons. Now we see that even though chromium and copper of the first transition series has the configuration of alkali in their outermost cell, and the rest of the transition element has the alkaline earth configuration, that is NS2, but that doesn't mean that they will be having the same environment or same atmosphere. This is because for alkali and alkaline, the penultimate cell is the P6 configuration, or you can say that they have a stable noble gas configuration. But in transition elements, along with the noble gas configuration, we have a definite number of d electrons. Now these d electrons, since they are there, this means that when we want to determine the strength of the nuclear force for the outermost electron, then these electrons will screen the nucleus. And if there is shielding or if there is screening of the inner electrons, then definitely the nuclear, the power or the nuclear force for the outermost electron will decrease. This means that compared to alkali and alkaline earth metal, the d electrons will offer shielding, and that is why there will be no decrease in size, because they will screen the nucleus and the nucleus cannot attract the outermost electron effectively, and this will lead to increase in size. But it has been found that the case is not like that. Even though there are d electron, the shielding or the screening effect of d orbital is found to be very, very small. This is because the d orbitals, we know that they are more diffused in space, or you can say they are more scattered in space. And as a result, since they are more diffused in space, if we consider this is a d orbital, suppose dxy orbital, with this is suppose x-axis, this is suppose y-axis, then the d orbitals start from principal quantum number n is equal to 3. That means they are far away from the nucleus, and their shape is such that if they have the nucleus in between, if they have the nucleus at the center, then the nuclear flux or the nuclear force can escape through the lobes of the d orbital. More effectively, they can spread out. That means even though in a particular configuration we have the d orbitals, their screening effect is so small that they hardly can screen the nucleus properly. So if the screening effect is small, if the the shielding effect is small, then immediately their effectiveness of the nucleus for the outermost electron will not be stopped. So if we go for potassium, then if we go for potassium, which has a configuration argon 4s1, and if we go for chromium, which has a configuration argon 3d5 4s1, then with 24 electron and with 19 proton at the nucleus, both will suggest that this higher nuclear charge will have a stronger attractive force for the outermost electron than the 19 proton in potassium for the 4s electron. Here, even though there are 5 d electrons in between, these electrons will have hardly any shielding or screening effect, and that is why instead of decreasing the nuclear force, this particular d electrons behave as if they are absent in the system, though there will be a very small amount of negligible shielding, but their effective shielding will be missed, and that is why, since we have 24 electron and 24 proton in chromium, but remove 5 electron from the structure, then you will be having, suppose, 5 electron less. This means that there will be 19 electron but 24 proton. Why 19 electron and 24 proton? This is because the d electrons present in 3D cell will have a very minimal shielding effect. They will behave that they are almost absent in the media. This means that the nuclear, but proton number is same. Chromium is having 24 atomic number. This means that the proton number will be there. The nucleus will be powerful than that of 19 potassium. So this particular molecule will be, particular atom will have a much smaller size than that of potassium, and that can be examined on the basis of the fact that the 3d5 electrons, that means these 5d electrons will be there with a very minimum shielding or minimum screening. So we can assume that they are absent in the system, and electrons are absent, but the protons are there at the nucleus, and that is why the attractive force for the 4s electron will be maximum than that of 19 potassium. And if we go for the atomic variation of the atomic radii for these elements, then we will see that for chromium we have the highest decrease in the d electron configuration and highest unpaired electron in case of chromium, and as a result there will be minimal shielding and maximum attraction of the nucleus for the valence electron. But so in scandium we have only one d electron, and scandium is 21 compared to scandium is 21 compared to 19 in potassium and 20 in calcium. So only one electron, but still that electron can be neglected. So proton number is more than that in potassium and in calcium. So from scandium to titanium we have 2 more d electrons, and 2 more d electrons mean these 2 electrons you neglect them, but the proton side is increased. Vanadium you have 3 d electron up to chromium. Up to chromium we know that the d orbital has 5 subcells. Then we have the 4s orbital. So for chromium, each of the d subcells will be filled with a single electron. Okay, so for chromium, this is the electronic configuration for chromium. But as soon as you go for manganese, then immediately the 4s orbital of manganese will be doubly filled. And since 4s electron has a screening effect or shielding effect, if the outermost electron is there, there will be repulsion among them. 4s electron has screening effect but a shielding effect, but they are outermost, that is why they are not inner electrons, they will not affect the radii. But since they are paired, this will mean that they will have slightly higher repulsion than that in chromium, and that is why their energy increases, the radii increases to a certain amount. Then if you go to iron, immediately iron is 3d6 4s2. So here there will be another pairing in the d orbital. Hope you can understand the diagram. Let me draw it again. So the d orbital, it's a a combination of 5 orbitals. Then you have the 4s orbital. What I want to say is that as you leave chromium and go to manganese, first there will be pairing in the 4s orbital with all the d orbitals singly filled. This is for manganese. But as soon as you go to iron, there will be again double electron in the 3d orbital. Then to copper, there will be another pairing. Then for nickel, there will be another pairing. In in cobalt, there will be 2 pairing. In nickel, there will be three paired electron. And in copper, all the d orbitals will be paired. Okay, so when they are paired, no doubt they have little shielding effect, but they will be, since they are paired, there will be internal repulsions among them, and you see the size again decreases. So from scandium up to chromium, if you go, from scandium up to chromium, if we go, then we find that as the number of the electron increases, from scandium to chromium, there is a steady decrease in the radii. Why? This is because the number of d electron increases, all of them are singly filled in the d subshell. All of them are singly filled in the d subshell. No electron-electron repulsion in the d subshell. And since the d electrons have a very low shielding or screening effect, that is why they cannot affect the nucleus in attracting the outermost 4s or 4s1 or 4s2 electron. But as we leave chromium, then in manganese, the first pairing of electron in the 4s shell starts. From manganese up to copper, the pairing continuously increases. So number of the electron increases. Number of the electron increases means what? The nuclear power also increases. And when the nuclear power increases, this means the attraction for the outermost electron will also increase. Though the outermost electron attraction increase, at the same time there will be some amount of electron-electron repulsion also for the pairing of the electron. So there will be steady decrease to this, and there will be decrease, of course, compared to scandium. You still will have lower radii for iron, copper, cobalt, etc. This is because their atomic number increases. More the atomic number, more will be attraction for the electron. But these elements will have slightly higher values than that of chromium. This is only because of the fact that the pairing starts here. So if we go for the atomic radii, then what we can say, that atomic radii is the distance of the outermost electron from the center. The d electrons, the d block elements have either 1 electron in their s orbital or 2 electron in their s orbital. So they should resemble in size with the alkali and alkaline. But since there are d electrons, and d electrons have a very low screening or shielding effect, this means that as the number of the electron increases, nuclear power increases, but these electrons have very low shielding effect, and that is why the nucleus attracts the outermost electron very tightly and the size decreases. But after manganese, since the pairing of electron increases in the d shell, so a little bit of electron-electron reflection, they will not attract one another. There will be electron-electron repulsion in the d orbital, and that is why the size will increase.